a quick set lock, removing the pins, setting it up to a vendor style lock for our property for our renovation units. So, you have your quick set lock. This is the difficult way. You don't know what key it is, you don't know what pin set it is. You can go over and try a random key. No go. So what you're going to have to do, there's the lock. I have a rekeying kit here. This guy is going to come in handy. Let's get all of our stuff out. Don't need that. And I think, yeah, that is it. So for right now, all we're going to need, you're going to need this guy, the flat bar. So just like these ones, you're going to have to remove this cylinder, but you're first going to start off with removing the top pins. So you come in, and sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, come on, there's an easier way. I'm going to use my knife. You need to get a flat blade under there, and sometimes that little edge won't work. So what I usually do, just like that. So, you're going to remove your top pins. And there's springs up there, right? Let's remove all those springs out. You're going to dress the springs too. If some of them are crimped, clamped, or compressed, replace them. So this guy comes in handy too. So looking at those springs, some of them are compressed. I'm just going to go ahead and change them out with new ones because I don't like them. They're dirty, they're old, and they look pretty beat. So, as you've noticed, there's 5 slots. So this is a 5-pin quick set. So what you're going to do now, and this makes it a little bit easier, that's the way I like to do it. What I do is I just take it and dump the guy out. You're going to kind of have to move it around a little bit, but you'll get all the pins in your hand. Oop, another one fell out. So, you have all the pins right there. And now, you should be able to spin the lock freely. Which you are. Alright, so you grab your flat bar, and there's a cotter pin right there, or clip, I should say. Push that guy out, just like that. Take that off, remove that guy, cylinder should fall right out. So now, you have it completely taken apart. All pins are gone. So now what you've got to figure out is, you got to grab your vendor key, and the vendor code's written up here, but if you need to rekey it, and you don't know the vendor code, you grab your key, and right here on this quick set line shows your numbers, 1 through 6. And it's on the bottom guy right there. So now what you do is the pin code starts from here is number 1, all the way to here is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take your key, fire this in, and you can see, it's kind of hard to hold, but you can see that it stops at 3. So then, you go to the next one, which has a little crook on it, kind of hard to hold, stops at 3. Then you go to the next one. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm doing the Westlock side. But still, it's quick set.
3, 3.
3, 3.
There, the next one should be 5.
Correct. Next one should be 5. Then, the very tall one's going to be 2. And then the last one's 5. So, 3, 3, 5, 2, 5. This is where you come in and grab your cylinder. And these guys right here, they're specifically made to grab pins. As you can see the little ridge on the edge of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you go over. 3. First one.
And that's the closest to the key portal, right?
Yes. So this guy right here will be 1. So that's your first section, 3. So 3, 3. And then you've got 5. Just like that. 2. 5. So you've got your pin set in there. What I like to do is grab your lock, run it into the cylinder, and if you've done it correctly, they all should sit relatively flat.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is reinsert this back into its cradle. What you need to make sure of is that you set it, kind of rotate it a little bit to the side, so it holds those pins in place so they don't fall out of the top pinhole. So you got that guy in there like that. Now you've got to set your top pins. So, top pins are right here. You have a couple different selections. These are anti-picks, which I don't recommend using because it makes your life a living hell when you're keying over stuff, because literally it means anti-pick. Mm-hmm. It makes it a pain in the butt to pick it out, or to pick the lock. And then here's your regular top pins. For vendor locks, you're not really going to need anti-picks. It's not a big deal, because 9 times out of 10 people are not going to sit there and try and repick the lock or pick the lock. So I believe these are 0.18 millimeters, if I remember correctly. And these are 0.16. So I usually use the brass ones. So you have your lock right here, and you're just going to insert 5 of these. 1, this over. 2, come on, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So now what I do, get this away. So I take the lock, and I actually turn it into its position. You can actually see the pins drop. So now this is in the lock position. It cannot, unless it has the key, it cannot be moved. So now what you do is you take and you grab your springs, 5 in. 1, 2, 3. Come on, where are you? 4 and 5. And if you actually look, the pins, you can see it actually in the springs. The height is set in the pins. So 3, 3, 5, 2, 5. Because that's where it's all sitting. Take your top cap. And you got to make sure you lay this all on top of these, because if you don't and you try to move it, it's going to crimp the springs. It's going to start mashing them into the other ones. Pop into place? No. Sometimes you got to give it some encouragement. Come on. Come on, baby. Okay, why aren't you going? Alright. Well, let's change out the cap. The caps aren't going to work. Just replace it to a different one. Let's see here. Here we go. New cap. Here we go.
Satisfying click.
Yep, that's exactly what you want. So now you're just going to rebuild everything back. So set this guy. So you have this little cutout right here. You want to make sure you set this guy on that same cutout so it has an ability to turn. That's what throws your throw. Then you take your cotter, or the cotter pin.
Snap ring.
Yes, and put that in. Sets it back into place. So now you grab your key. You know, if everything's done correctly, the lock will turn. You've now rekeyed a lock.